Welcome to our YouTube channel. I remember lying under the stars and wondering, what if Earth wasn't round? What if it was flat, just like the ancient myths said? The thought is strange, thrilling, and surprisingly dangerous. So, let's dive deep into what would really happen if Earth were flat, using science, logic, and some absolutely mind-bending consequences you've never imagined before. Gravity would behave strangely, or not at all. On a flat Earth, gravity wouldn't pull things straight down. Instead, it would pull toward the center of the disk. That means the farther you go from the center, the more you'd feel like you're walking uphill, sideways. Trees and oceans at the edges would literally curve outward. The atmosphere wouldn't stay put. Without the spherical shape and balanced gravity, our atmosphere would drift into space, especially near the edges. You'd step near the rim and feel air thinning like you're on Everest, or worse, gone entirely. Day and night wouldn't work. If Earth were flat, the sun couldn't rise and set like it does now. Instead, it would need to act like a spotlight hovering over the disk. But in that case, we'd all see the sun at all times, just from different angles, no true night. Seasons would break, no axial tilt means no seasons, everyone would get the same constant climate, and the concept of summer in Australia and winter in Europe at the same time would make no sense. The climate zones we depend on would vanish. GPS and satellites wouldn't exist. Global positioning systems rely on satellites orbiting a sphere. On a flat Earth, satellite orbits are impossible. No GPS, no satellite TV, no space missions. Your phone's map just became a paperweight. Airplane flight paths would be wild. Planes use the curvature of Earth for efficient routes. On a flat Earth, these great circles wouldn't make sense. In fact, many current flights, like from Australia to South America, would take days instead of hours. You couldn't circumnavigate. Magellan and thousands of global travelers wouldn't be able to travel in a continuous line and end up where they started. The entire concept of navigation would collapse. Lunar eclipses couldn't occur. Eclipses rely on Earth casting a round shadow on the moon. On a flat Earth, you'd see a weird, stretched or distorted shadow, nothing like the perfect circular one we observe. Tectonic activity would act unpredictably. The plates that make up Earth's crust move and shift based on a spherical model and internal heat distribution. On a flat planet, these forces would tear the crust unevenly, causing uncontrollable earthquakes and massive rifts. Time zones would become confusing. On a sphere, different parts of the world face the sun at different times. On a flat Earth, the spotlight sun would make time zones unstable and no place would experience pitch darkness. Oceans would flow to the center. With gravity pulling toward the center of the disk, oceans would pool inward, leaving the edges dry and barren. A terrifying global water slide into a super sea in the middle. Edge of the world? Welcome to chaos. If Earth had an edge, it would require some impossible structure like a giant ice wall to contain the atmosphere and oceans. But physics says such a structure can't exist without enormous gravitational balance, meaning it would collapse. Our moon would behave differently. Tidal forces and the moon's phases only work if Earth is a sphere. On a flat Earth, you'd see multiple inconsistent moon phases depending on where you stood, totally breaking celestial logic. The coriolis effect would vanish. This force causes hurricanes to spin in different directions in each hemisphere. No round Earth equals no coriolis equals no proper wind patterns or ocean currents. The planet's weather would fall apart, science would crumble, physics, astronomy, meteorology, geology, all depend on a spherical Earth. A flat Earth means we'd have to rewrite the laws of the universe. And that's not just a theory, that's madness. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. In a flat world, nothing works the way it should. But in our world, the real world, science is what holds everything together. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, truth is more amazing than fiction.